It's like that in a hieroglyphics, yeah. It's like that in a hieroglyphics.
Thanks for inviting me to New York, you know, Mecca boxing, Madison Square Gardens. It's always been my dream to fight over here. I want to thank HBO, Kerry Davis, Richard, Udabella for making this fight. Talking about the fight, you know, first of all, I've never fought a guy who's 45. And talk about a guy who a fighter who I've fought is one-dimensional. At least I beat that guy because the one-dimensional guy Paulie fought was Ricky Hatton, and he got beat off him. You know, so you know, styles make fights. I've come to New York. You know, I know there's going to be a lot of pressure on me and everything, fighting here, not in front of my home crowd. But I know, you know, after this fight, I'm sure the New York fans are going to start loving me. You know, just the way Nazim Hamed did it when he beat Kenny Kelly. You know, I'm up for this fight. You know, it's a big time in my career. My dream's always been to come to America and become a star in America. You know, I made my big name in the UK. People love me down there. But now it's time to come to the US where boxing is huge. But yeah, man, I can't wait for the 15th of May. You know, because there's going to be some fireworks. So I just want to thank everyone, thank my team, and I can't wait to get back over here and see you guys on May 15th. Thank you very much.
It was really good to be back in New York, back when another chance to fight Madison Square Garden. Words can't really express how excited I am about this fight, about the opportunity. Richard was saying that I've actually been working like 5 times with you guys in the past couple of years, so I thank Golden Boy too, man. I've been in a lot of big fights involving them as well. It's funny, another thing I was thinking about yesterday, I was sitting in my room thinking, and I'm like, you know, all these big British fighters come here, and they end up always making their debuts in New York guys. Hamed fought Kevin Kelly, Ricky Hatton fought Luis Collazo, and now Amir's fighting me. The common denominator is, yeah, they all won, but the common denominator is also, they were really tested in those fights. You know, Hamed luckily had the dynamite to get himself out of there because he had been dropped himself 3 times against Kelly. Ricky Hatton, to me, they gift wrapped an early Christmas gift for him, but I don't even think he won that fight. And, you know, I think Amir's got his hands full as well on May 15th. You know, with he's got definitely fighting the best fighter he's ever fought in his career. Not that that should make a difference because he should prepare his own self, and I'm sure he will. But, you know, between, you know, I'm not a former featherweight. I'm not 45 years old. I'm not one-dimensional where, like Kotelnik was, basically that's the only real championship level fighter I think he's fought. But pretty much the guy couldn't make an adjustment for the first 2 seconds of the fight. So I think that, again, with the great team I got around me, because I've had some performances that were pretty pathetic in my career, you know, and I'll be the first one to admit that. But, you know, I got a trainer who really work on a lot of things, multidimensional, and really enhances my strengths and my abilities to really enhance my style as an athlete. Because not only am I a fighter, but I'm an athlete as well. I got a lot of speed, great reflexes, so on and so forth, and I don't have to be up here to brag about it, but I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of me. I just want to say, you know, Freddie gets up here, talking about certain things. You know, this is between Paulie Malignaggi and Amir Khan. This isn't about Freddie Roach. This isn't about anyone else. This isn't about Manny Pacquiao. This isn't about steroids. This is May 15th, Paulie Malignaggi and Amir Khan are going to get in the ring. The bell's going to ring, and we're going to settle it in there. Right? It's nothing to do with anything else. I've made my comments, and I stand by my comments. All right. I never said Amir was a cheater. It never came out of my mouth. Okay. Somebody asked me a question. Did it cross your mind? Have you thought about it? Do you think he's cheating, being that he's got the same team around him? I said I'd be lying if it didn't cross my mind, but why would I think that he's cheating? You know, really, he hasn't given me any right to think that. You know, I never said it to begin with. Somebody tried to put the words in my mouth, and sometimes they kind of did put the words in my mouth. I got a lot of respect for Amir. He's going to get beat May 15th, no doubt about it. But I got a lot of respect for Amir. All right, I got a lot of respect for the guy. But I feel a certain way about the other guy, and I said certain things, and that's about it. You know what I mean? I'm going to find out. He said May 15th. You're going to find out too, bro. You're all gonna find out. Don't worry about it. I was like, this ain't. I don't take nothing personal. This is business to me. This is how I make my paycheck. This is how I make my living. All right. I don't want to be involved with boxing when I'm done with it. You know, to that extent. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a trainer. I don't want to be in this business. I actually can't stand some of it, to tell you the truth. But you know, some people maybe they get a little too excited about it. This is my paycheck. All right. But I also got my pride here too. I get in the ring, we throw down. You know what I mean? This isn't, I don't go in there laying down for nobody. And I think everybody understands that. Everybody is capable of knowing that. You know, this fight is gonna be fought in front of a crowd. When Amir gets punched in his mouth, they're gonna love it. Okay, his whole career, they haven't loved it since Amir's been punched in his mouth. They're quiet, or when he punches somebody else in the mouth, they love it because it's pro-con. Well, Madison Square Garden is Paul Malignaggi. This is New York City. It's my city. So when Amir's head snapping back, he's getting his blitzing combination, and I'm sure he's coming to throw his own blitzing combinations. There's no doubt about it. But when his head is snapping back with blitzing combinations, the crowd is going to love it. They're going to want to see more. All right? And that's the first time in his career he's going to deal with that. You know what I mean? They're going to boo his name when they say his name. You know what I mean? So there's plenty of sparks involved with this promotion, with this fight. All right? But let's keep it to where it is. This is Paulie Malignaggi versus Amir Khan. On May 15th, I got all the answers.
He's a good defensive fighter. He's got a lot of guts. He's not going to quit for anybody. I would love to knock him out and shut him up for a little bit. You know, I do like Paulie, but right now I don't. Because his accusations about my fighters and me that we're dirty, I don't like that. It's embarrassing. You know, if my guys can't do it naturally, I say fucking don't do it at all. I mean, but you know, hopefully we'll be friends after the fight. But I'm sending my guy in there to knock him out. But I'll be happy with the 12-round decision also, because I know Paulie he's a tough guy. I expect Paulie to be at his best. I've watched a lot of tapes on him, and finding his mistakes and his flaws, and we're going to try to take advantage of that. But it's a tactical fight, because both guys are very technical. They're not just bangers, right? But they both can box.
Okay. And are you planning to improve Amir Khan's defensive game a little bit for this fight?
Well, we work on the entire package every day of every training session. You know, good habits all the time. I mean, that's part of my life with fighters. Amir's defense is not bad, but we can improve on everything. The day we stop learning and stop improving is the day we quit. So we're trying to get better at all aspects of the game at all times.